Hey, this is Sean, and doing some remote file management today with a couple of Linux operating systems, and so I thought I'd make just a quick video of this for people that might be having to do this. So I'm using Debian, or not Debian, I'm sorry, I'm using Ubuntu 2004, it's a newer operating system on my Razorback machine, and here is the process of upgrading a Raspberry Pi that is out in the field and we use to gather some information. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get onto the networks where these machines exist. Now I use a VPN with a VPN fallback process where I create keys for an upgrade VPN system and then just a standard operations VPN system. They're two different servers that run on the same physical hardware. And if we go into our VPN selection tool here in Ubuntu, you'll see here I'm logged into both of them. Okay, so this operations network has a subnet of 10.8.6.0 and the other one, which is the OpenSense upgrades, is 10.8.8.0. So this machine can actually be logged into both of them at the same time, and I can enable and disable each one of those from the client. So this will make a little more sense when we pull the machines up. So first let's just pull them up in a terminal. And you can do that with CTRL, ALT, and T for terminal, or you can do it from the menu. However it is that you want to do it. I do a lot of keyboard shortcuts in my video instructions. So we're going to SSH and we're going to go in as the root user at 10.8.6. This one's going to be 18. Okay, and this is the machine that we're going to be upgrading. So it's our Raspberry Pi, and the name of the machine is Darby. It's just an arbitrary name. If we do our ifconfig, you'll see that we have a tunnel address here, and it is not connected to the upgrade VPN right now. But if we change directory to the etc/openvpn directory and do a list, you can see that we've got a config file for the OpenSense upgrades Darby that's currently turned off. We don't need that on for what we're doing because we're literally going to physically switch this box out. Okay, and then we've got the operations darby.conf. This right here is going to be fired up when the box comes up and it establishes a connection to our concentrator. So let's open the second window here, and we're going to go to this is 5, I believe. And this is Darby 2. This is the new box. This is basically an operating system upgrade, so the software has just gotten old, and just doing a regular software upgrade really isn't going to work on it. So we have a whole nother machine we're building. We're just going to go out and switch them out. If we do an ifconfig on it, you can see here's our tunnel configuration here that we're connecting through. Okay, so the cool part is that this file manager that we have in Ubuntu allows us to use SSH protocol right within it. SSH is secure shell. That's what we used down here to log into these from remote. You'll notice the name of this machine here. The name of the machine here. They're a little bit different, but that's okay. That's really not all important. We're going to use the same protocol that we use to log into these and that we're using to control these boxes from remote. These boxes, by the way, are about 10 miles away. And they are connected through a cellular device, basically. We can actually look at the file system and do the management from this box here via our file manager. So we're going to pull up our file manager, go to our home directory. This is all the stuff in my home directory here. This is not something that you can see in this menu here anywhere. This is a feature that is kind of like a hidden feature. We're going to go hit the control button and hit L And that's going to give you this window here where you can type a path in. Now, the way that this file manager works is you start with the protocol you want to use, and there's a lot of different protocols you can plug into this thing. But we're going to use SSH, and then you go : / almost like you do with a website, okay? And then you're going to put in the user, we're going to use root, and then the IP address. And for the first one, the one that we want to pull the files from, it is 10.8.6. We're going to use 18. Okay, and it's going to use the SSH protocol with that user login information, and bam, pull us back a directory tree of. Now it doesn't tell you what you're connected to up here, like it does with the terminal windows. Like the terminal windows, you've got this prompt. This is one of the nice things about working in a terminal. You get this really nice prompt that basically tells you what you're connected to and who you're connected as. You won't get that in this file management window, but what you do get is the ability to just click through this, just because it's just you're using it just like you would use the file manager on your current physical system that you're connected to, that you're working from. So we're going to go into the etc directory. And what we're looking for is the OpenVPN key that we use to connect to the operations concentrator. And that's going to be in the OpenVPN folder, and it's right here, operationsdarby.conf. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to open another window, or another tab, right here. We're going to do the same thing for the other machine, the machine that we're building. SSH : / root user at 10.8.8.5. Okay, we're going to go to the etc folder there, and we're going to go to the OpenVPN connection here, folder here, and you'll see in here we have this OpenSense upgrades. This is the VPN client connection information for doing upgrades to that box. If we need to do some sort of VPN upgrade to it, we can go in, turn this on by setting it to a conf file, reboot the machine, and it will come up and connect to this network. We could then, do any work that we need to do on the actual operations VPN side of it, and then we could change it back. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste in that file that we use currently on that box to connect to the concentrator. That way we have all the same settings, and basically we don't have to worry about changing any settings on the concentrator to make sure that it gets the right IP address so that everything else can see it. None of that stuff. We're just going to copy the file over. Now we don't want this to come up right now, and it's not going to fire up unless we reboot the box. We want to rename this, because if it comes up right now, it's going to knock the other box offline. So off. Okay, so the boot up process will look at this and say, oh, it doesn't have a comp file, so I'm not actually going to start that. And the reason that we do that is because that other box is actually in production right now. They're using it. When we switch it out, all we have to do is log in from remote and turn this one off, and turn this one on, and then turn this one off by switching the three-letter identifiers, or the dot identifiers on these two files. And we'll be able to log into it because it is currently logged in with the OpenSense Upgrades VPN. Okay, so that's all done. The box is all ready to go, and I can now take it up there, switch it out, log right in through SSH on my phone, and change the operations Darby off to .conf, and then the OpenSense Upgrades Darby from .conf to .off. Reboot the box, and it will come up and connect with the operations VPN. And at that time, all the machines that are looking for that box at 10.8.6.18 will be able to see it and get information from it. So this is basically just doing file management through your with the SSH protocol right through your existing file manager on an Ubuntu system. We do this every day with stuff. It's very, very reliable, and it's a lot like having an on-demand VPN through an existing VPN connection, which is basically all the data that's going through there is then double encrypted. But SSH is a secure protocol. So there are keys that are associated with it that encrypt all the data between 2 points, like a point-to-point VPN, really. It's typically used for, administrative management, but you can actually use it as a file management protocol. You can move files through it. It will be slower than using just a straight-up flat VPN system or just like on LAN or something like that. Because there is encryption, there's actually 3 times as much data as you're sending, but it is very secure. It uses RSA encryption, and it's 256-bit, and it's good. So anyway, I hope this helps people out if you're having to move stuff around a lot between Linux boxes. There is SSH, they call it SFTP, Secure FTP, but I usually just refer to it as SSH file management. There are clients that offer Windows boxes for doing this sort of stuff, but if you prefer to use Windows, then you'll have to go find one of those. There's a couple real popular ones. Any SSH client that you use for Windows, I believe, has SFTP capabilities. But anyway, I hope this helps you out. Again, this is Sean. Thanks for watching, and happy computing.